Earlier this week, my fourth book was published. The book is titled, How to Be Successful, Think Like a Leader. I'd like to share the path that brought me to write this book. By the time I was 27 years old, I owned a number of companies in various industries, including medical, fashion, manufacturing, distribution, and pharmaceuticals. I had become successful at a young age. My life was wonderful. Everything changed when I started having daily grand mal seizures. One morning in 2010, I woke up and half my body had stopped working. I rolled out of bed and fell on the floor before dragging myself to the kitchen where my phone was plugged in. I grew up with type 1 diabetes and I had experienced seizures when my blood sugar was too low, so I assumed I just needed a snack. As I ate everything I could get my hand on, something still didn't feel right. Laying on the kitchen floor, I pulled the charging cable and got my phone to fall on the floor so that I could dial my mom. I wanted to tell her that I'd had another seizure and I couldn't get up off the floor, but the words coming out of my mouth were not the words that I actually wanted to say. She called 911 when she realized that I was unable to communicate. I was rushed by ambulance to the emergency room as I lost consciousness. I was diagnosed with brain cancer. Oncologists gave me only 60 to 90 days to live. I still remember the doctor putting his hand on my mom's shoulder and telling her to make some memories with the time we had left. I lost absolutely everything as I became unable to drive, live alone, or remember small details such as if I had eaten or taken an insulin shot. This caused additional seizures. Everything I had researched, the businesses that I had built, and even my memory were gone. My family took me to Tijuana, Mexico to pursue alternative treatments that were not approved in the United States. Uncertain of whether I'd survive or not, I was inspired to make a difference in as many lives as possible with the time that I had left. My ability to communicate returned, but scar tissue from the brain tumor caused serious memory issues and depression that I struggled hard to fight. Over the next few years, I began contacting leaders that I admired and asking them questions. My book, How to Be Successful, Think Like a Leader, is a compilation of true stories and conversations we had in my fight to stay uplifted and inspired as I fought for my life. I've shared these interviews in a book that will help you in your journey to success. I launched Success, Motivation, and Inspiration as a blog to motivate and inspire others to achieve more in their lives as well. Around the same time, I began connecting with aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned experts. I was looking for others who wanted to increase their business and expand their market presence. It was nice to be able to jot down thoughts in the blog when I discovered something that inspired me. As the social media groups grew and gained thousands of members globally, I started receiving calls and messages from people whose lives had improved because of the principles that I shared. Others reached out for guidance or advice on how to become successful. I also received messages from athletes who were inspired to train harder, stick to their diet plans, and pursue their goals with greater intensity. I started spending time with extremely successful people who were achieving growth in their own lives. Many of these new friends had created lifestyles that allowed them to do things that others could only imagine. The more time I spent around these successful friends, the more ideas and opportunities started falling into my lap. Even though I wasn't concentrating on writing or social media, interest continued to grow. Read How to Be Successful, Think Like a Leader, and I'll share stories and conversations that led me from a bankrupt brain cancer patient to being an author, podcast host, and successful business owner once again. What is your excuse? Are you creating opportunities? Maybe life has you in a rough spot. The first chapter of How to Be Successful, Think Like a Leader shares how one man went from being homeless to owning a Ferrari. Is your attitude holding you back from opportunities? Later in the book, you'll hear about a guy who missed his chance because of his poor attitude. Do you think you have bad luck or poor genetics? Learn how refusing to take ownership of misfortune can change your life for the better. In this book, you'll also learn the benefits of practicing delayed gratification and, on the other end of the scale, rewarding yourself to create a stronger work ethic and faster results. You'll learn how to make others feel appreciated and 6 keys to building quality friendships, as well as lessons on how the way you dress can affect your success. Are you able to say no? Does using profanity make you seem more successful? How can you improve your attitude and develop winning habits? These are some of the questions that I answer in this book. Learn how to be successful and think like a leader. I hope you love this book.